About 2,000 years ago, there lived in the city of Jericho a man named Zacchaeus. Jericho is located in Israel and is one of the oldest cities in the world. Zacchaeus was very rich and lived with his family in one of the largest and finest houses in Jericho. Zacchaeus loved all his fine possessions and always wanted more and more expensive things. Taxes were collected by the customs officers, and the man in charge of the customs officers was Zacchaeus. The taxes were charged by the Roman Emperor Tiberius. The emperor had sent his soldiers and conquered many lands, including Israel. Of course, no one in these countries wanted to pay taxes to the Romans, so no one liked the customs officers who betrayed their own people to become rich themselves. One day Jesus came to visit Jericho. On the way into the city, a poor blind beggar named Bartimaeus cried out to Jesus. Jesus heard him and healed him. Bartimaeus could now see. Bartimaeus was so happy to be able to see and followed Jesus into the city, praising God for what he had done. Everyone in Jericho wanted to see Jesus, including Zacchaeus. But Zacchaeus was very short and could not see over the large crowd surrounding Jesus. Even if he stood on tiptoe, he could not see Jesus. Zacchaeus did everything he could to see Jesus, but because of the crowd, he couldn't. Then he had a good idea. I can run ahead and climb the big sycamore fig tree over there, he whispered to himself. Jesus will walk past the tree, then I will see him. Zacchaeus quickly ran ahead of the crowd to the big tree and started to climb it. Zacchaeus now had a very good view as he sat up in the tree. Oh, how he longed for Jesus to come by so he could see him. Suddenly Jesus came into sight, and Bartimaeus was there too. Praising God, the poor and blind beggar could now see. Zacchaeus knew that Jesus had healed Bartimaeus, so Jesus must be the Son of God. When Jesus came to the tree where Zacchaeus was sitting, he did not pass underneath but stopped, looked up and shouted, Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today. You are welcome to come to my home, Zacchaeus replied. Now many were angry with Jesus. Why does Jesus want to go home to that wretched man Zacchaeus? Yes, to the home of that cheating friend of the Romans. But Jesus did not care what people thought about Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus was happy to have Jesus stay for dinner. Jesus spent time talking with Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus knew in his heart that he was a thief and a cheat who needed to say sorry and obey God. Jesus, said Zacchaeus, I want to follow and obey your commands. I have done so many wrong things. I want to ask God and people for forgiveness. To those I have cheated, I want to give back 4 times as much, and I promise to give half of what I own to the poor. Jesus announced, Today salvation has come to this house. I have come to seek out and save those who are lost. Everyone was very happy that Zacchaeus had turned away from cheating and stealing to obey God. Zacchaeus then did as he had said. He took half of everything he owned and gave it to the poor in Jericho. The poor were surprised and very happy. Everyone understood that Zacchaeus had been completely transformed by Jesus. Zacchaeus also went to those he had overcharged. I took too much in this tax from you, he apologized. Here is 4 times as much back. I hope you will forgive me. When Jesus walked on from Jericho, there were many who were happy, including Bartimaeus and Zacchaeus, whose lives were now completely transformed.